Hey guys, so for this week's art class we are focusing on painting techniques. So I made some really cool marbled tie-dye paper. So I'm going to show you how to make tie-dye paper with your watercolors, and then after you create your tie-dye paper, your next step is going to be looking at some different architectural buildings, bridges, and coming up with some inspiration. So this week we're making our tie-dyed paper. Next week, after we learn a little bit about buildings and structures, we will go back over our tie-dyed paper and draw either a building or a bridge on top. So what you're gonna do first is you're gonna get your white paper and your watercolors. Remember, you should have these. If you don't have them, they are available for pickup at the Academy with any of your other Viper items. And then you're going to need some water. So your first step is you're going to really want to paint your paper and get it really nice and wet with water. So notice, like when I'm doing this, I'm doing it kind of quick. I'm not drying out my brush or coming up the side. I'm just trying to get my paper completely covered. If you have a bigger brush for this first step, that works out really nicely too. So after I get this nice and wet and I go all the way down, my next step is going to be to start adding color. So give me one sec, I'm almost there. Okay, so let's pretend for a second, that I've gone all the way down my paper with water. It's nice and wet. I've gone back over it a couple times because my color won't spread unless I've gotten it nice and wet. Feels pretty wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work from light to dark. I'm going to start adding color in. I want to work kind of quick because this is going to start drying. So I'm going to start with yellow. Remember, I add water to my paint, and then I'm just going to kind of tap it on my paper, and as you notice, as it touches, it spreads. Then I'm going to rinse, go to my next color, which is orange. Same thing, tap, and you can see it's wanting to spread. Rinse, next color, red, tap. That one didn't spread as much. I'm going to get some more water on my brush. Get it nice and wet. There we go. Ooh, see, ooh, look at that. See how well that spread? I got that one really wet. Look at that. Whoa, that's awesome. So same thing, rinse, go to my next color. So I'm kind of almost like scooping the water up. So after red, I'm going to go to purple. I'm going to get that nice and wet. Scoop up some water. Make sure it's nice and wet. Same thing, tap. Let's see if I get any cool starburst. Adding more purple. Ooh, now it's starbursting. So adding my dots. Rinse. Go to my next color. I'm going to do blue. You can see it starburst better on this side, probably because it's more wet. This time I'm just going to drop some water on it just to get it kind of a little bit more saturated. Okay, purple, I got blue, last color is green, so I'm getting my watercolors wet. And same thing, I'm just gonna tap it. Try to get the spots I haven't got. And now I have this tie-dye effect. So notice I only went halfway down my paper. I do want you to go all the way down. Just make sure the trick is to get your paper really nice and wet. Alright, so that's your first step. Create your tie-dye paper, let it dry. While it's drying, go ahead and go on to the next seesaw video, and I want you to learn a little bit about architecture and start thinking about maybe some different things that you think might look good on this paper.